Welcome to Rise Untold, where the stories behind the spotlight come alive. It began like a whisper, a rumor so unexpected, so out of the blue that fans didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or simply deny it. Liam Neeson, the Irish actor known for his gravitas, his quiet dignity, his deep, commanding voice that shaped some of cinema's most iconic roles, and Pamela Anderson, the Baywatch star, the blonde bombshell who ran across beaches in slow motion, whose life was as much about headlines as it was about heartbreak. 2 worlds apart. 2 names that never seemed destined to collide. And yet, a story started circulating. Pamela Anderson was linked with Liam Neeson. The internet didn't just notice, it erupted. For some fans, it was betrayal. How could Liam Neeson, the man of shadows and action, the hero who fought wolves in the wilderness and terrorists on planes, end up in a tabloid-style love twist with Pamela Anderson? It felt unreal. It felt like fiction. And still, people clicked, they read, they shared. But why? Why did this particular rumor spread like wildfire? The answer lies in the contrast. Because Liam Neeson has always carried himself with an air of mystery. A private man, a widower who lost the love of his life, Natasha Richardson, in a tragic skiing accident back in 2009. Since then, his name has rarely been tied with public scandals. He became the kind of actor people admired not just for his craft, but for his quiet strength. Pamela Anderson, on the other hand, has lived her life in the glare of flashbulbs. From Playboy covers to Baywatch fame, from her whirlwind marriages to her public battles, her story was never hidden. She owned her chaos. She survived it. She thrived in it. So when tabloids hinted that these 2 paths had crossed, the contrast was too delicious for the media to resist. Headlines screamed, "Pamela Anderson finds comfort in Liam Neeson." Others whispered, "Neeson finally moves on with Baywatch icon." Fans scrolled, fans reacted, and suddenly, Liam Neeson's most loyal admirers felt something unexpected. Betrayal, not because they disliked Pamela Anderson, not because they didn't want Liam to find happiness again, but because it felt like a mismatch, a twist that didn't fit the story they believed about him. Some fans said, "No, this isn't the Liam we know. This is gossip. This is fake." Others said, "Even if it's true, why her? Why now?" It was as if people weren't just reacting to a rumor. They were reacting to the idea that their heroes could be written into someone else's script. But let's pause. What really happened? Where did this rumor begin? And why did it spread so fast? The truth is, Pamela Anderson herself once admitted in interviews that she had a crush on Liam Neeson. She even joked about wanting to date him. The media, as it always does, took a spark and turned it into a wildfire. What was one playful comment from Pamela became a full-blown relationship in the world of tabloids. And Liam, he never confirmed it. He never denied it either. Because that's who he is. A man who doesn't waste his breath on every headline. Silence became his answer. But silence can sometimes be louder than words. For Pamela, it was just another headline in a lifetime of headlines. For Liam, it became an uncomfortable twist in his carefully guarded privacy. And for fans, it became a test of how much they truly knew their hero, and how much of that image was just a projection. Think about it. Why do we feel betrayed when celebrities make choices we don't expect? Why do we act like their lives belong to us? Maybe because, deep down, we don't just watch their films, we invest in their stories. We turn them into symbols. Liam Neeson wasn't just an actor. He was resilience after tragedy. He was a widower who found strength in fatherhood, who kept working, who never let his private pain become public drama. So when his name was pulled into Pamela Anderson's stormy universe, it felt like the symbol had cracked. But here's the truth, the relationship never happened. No secret dinners. No hidden romance, no betrayal, just a rumor, born out of a playful comment. And yet, isn't it fascinating how much weight a single rumor can carry, how it can shift public opinion, how it can make fans question the very image they've built of someone? Liam Neeson remains who he always was, a man shaped by loss, defined by his craft, and admired for his strength. Pamela Anderson remains who she is, a survivor, a fighter, someone who turned scandal into survival. Their stories are different, their worlds are different, and in truth, they never merged. But maybe the real twist isn't about them at all. Maybe it's about us, because if one rumor can shake our faith in someone we admire, maybe it means we were never seeing the person, only the projection. So, the next time you read a headline, ask yourself, is this the truth? Or just another story written to entertain, to provoke, to confuse? Liam Neeson didn't betray his fans. Pamela Anderson didn't trick the world. The real plot twist was how quickly we all believed. And maybe that's the lesson. Not every headline deserves your trust. Not every whisper deserves your belief. Because in the end, the people we admire are just people. Flawed, complicated, human. We place them on pedestals. We imagine them as unshakable, unbreakable, larger than life. But behind the cameras, behind the red carpets, behind the carefully crafted images, they wrestle with the same storms we do, the same heartbreak, the same disappointments, the same loneliness that visits us in the quiet hours of the night. And maybe that's the hardest truth to accept. Not that our heroes fall short, not that rumors twist their lives into stories they never chose, but that they were never perfect to begin with. They were simply human, walking through the same shadows we all know, but under a spotlight that magnifies every step. Think of Liam Neeson. He wasn't just the man on screen who fought kidnappers, wolves, and villains in every corner of the world. He was a husband, a father, a man who loved deeply and lost painfully. When Natasha Richardson died, a part of him was shattered forever. He carried that grief silently, with the weight of the world pressing on his shoulders. And yet, he kept going. He kept acting. He kept telling stories. Because in the silence of his art, he found survival. And Pamela Anderson. For the world, she was the blonde running across beaches, the image of glamour, the face of endless controversies. But inside, she was fighting battles people couldn't see. Failed marriages, public scandals, a constant war with how the world saw her versus who she truly was. She was called many things, but rarely was she called what she truly is. Resilient, so when rumors stitched their names together, people were quick to judge, quick to react, quick to believe. But here's the real twist. Their strength has nothing to do with who they dated or what the headlines claimed. It has everything to do with how they kept moving, even when life tried to stop them. Because strength isn't about being flawless. It's about carrying flaws with dignity. It's about walking through chaos and still choosing to stand tall. It's about knowing that even if the world misunderstands you, you keep living your truth. So maybe the lesson isn't about Liam Neeson or Pamela Anderson at all. Maybe it's about us. Maybe it's about how quick we are to believe, how quick we are to place our trust in headlines, and how slow we are to remember that behind every story is a human being. And that's why their journeys matter, not because they are perfect, but because they are proof that imperfection doesn't mean defeat. If Liam Neeson could survive unimaginable loss, endure the glare of rumors, and still rise with quiet strength, if Pamela Anderson could walk through fire, face the weight of public judgment, and still rebuild her life from the ashes, then maybe you too can rise. Maybe you too can take the pain, the criticism, the misunderstandings, and still stand. Maybe you can take your scars and wear them like armor. Maybe you can take your broken pieces and build something stronger than before, because if they could survive that, and still rise, then maybe, just maybe, you can too.